Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up and something just feels off? You know what you should be doing. Hit the gym, start that project, clean your room, but instead, you reach for your phone. One scroll, one notification, one random video, and suddenly, it's 4 p.m. and you're still in bed. You tell yourself, I just need to get motivated. But that motivation, it never shows up. Then comes the guilt. You start thinking you're lazy, undisciplined, maybe even broken. But what if I told you you're not any of those things? What if I told you the real problem isn't you? It's the lie you've been sold. You've been misled. Motivation isn't the key. In fact, it might be the exact thing that's keeping you stuck. In the next few minutes, I'll break down why waiting around for motivation is killing your momentum and show you what actually works instead. And no, this isn't some feel-good hype session. This is a blueprint, one you'll wish you had years ago. Motivation is a lie. Here's what actually works. You've heard it a million times. You just need to get motivated. Find your why. Watch this video. Unlock your drive. And for a moment, it kinda works. You feel a spark. You write down a to-do list. You even clean your desk. Light a candle. Maybe post about it. But then, what happens the next morning? Nothing. The spark's gone. And you're right back where you started. Stuck, frustrated, and disappointed in yourself. Let me tell you a quick story. There was this guy, Jack, 22 years old, super smart, big dreams, wanted to launch a business, get in shape, make his parents proud. So he did what most people do. He made a plan, watched all the right videos, got hyped up, and for 2 weeks, he was on fire, waking up at 6 a.m., cold showers, journaling, workouts, hustle mode. But by week 3, he was back on the couch, binge-watching Netflix, sleeping in, feeling guilty. Why? Because his entire plan was running on motivation. And motivation is unreliable. It's temporary. It's a burst, not a battery. Here's the part nobody talks about. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unstable. They come and go, just like the weather. You can't build a strong future on something that's constantly changing. Motivation tells you to wait until you feel ready. Discipline tells you to act, even when you don't. And here's the crazy part. The most successful people, they don't wake up motivated every day. They don't rely on hype or mood. They've built something better. What they rely on is identity, systems, environment. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. Because once you understand what really drives consistent action, your life, it'll never be the same again. So if motivation doesn't work, what does? What actually makes someone get up early, hit the gym, work on their business, even when no one's watching, and they feel like crap? Let me introduce you to the shift. The shift from chasing feelings to building systems. From hoping you'll feel inspired to designing a life where action becomes automatic. Let me tell you about James, a regular guy from Ohio. He worked a 9 to 5, came home exhausted, scrolled TikTok till midnight, and told himself, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow never came. Until one day, he stopped trying to feel motivated, and instead, he changed 3 things. Identity first, not goals. James stopped saying, I want to get fit. He started saying, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't miss workouts. That one sentence changed his behavior. Because when your identity changes, your habits follow. Systems beat willpower. James didn't rely on a 2-hour workout plan. He started with 15 push-ups every morning. That's it. It felt small, but it was easy to win. And wins build momentum. He built a system. Alarm goes off. Splash cold water. Do push-ups. Track it on a sticky note. No thinking. Just action. Environment drives everything. James moved junk food out of his kitchen. Put his gym shoes by the door every night. Set app limits on his phone. Hung out with friends who were on the same mission. He didn't just change his goals. He changed his surroundings. And that changed him. That's the shift. Motivation is internal and unstable. But identity, systems, and environment, those are external levers you can control every single day. And they don't care how you feel in the moment. They just work. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to build momentum from zero, even if you're burnt out, distracted, or starting over for the 10th time. Because now that you know the truth, it's time to act on it. Look, the goal isn't to feel fired up all the time. It's to keep moving forward, even when you're tired, stressed, or flat out over it. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. Because momentum creates energy. It builds belief. And it removes the pressure of trying to be inspired every single day. So, how do you create momentum when you're stuck? You shrink the task until it's impossible to fail. The 5-minute rule. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. If it's bigger, just do 5 minutes of it. That's it. Tell yourself, I'm not going to write a whole book. I'm just going to write one crappy paragraph. I'm not going to work out for an hour. I'm just going to stretch for 5 minutes. 9 times out of 10. Once you start, you'll keep going. Starting is the hard part. Momentum makes the rest easier. Habit anchoring. Want to build a new habit? Attach it to one that already exists. Example. After brushing your teeth, do 10 squats. After pouring your coffee, journal 1 line. After work, 10-minute walk outside. Why? Because your brain already recognizes the anchor habit. You're not creating something new. You're stacking it onto something familiar. The 2-day rule. You can miss 1 day. Never miss 2. If you skip a workout, fine. Life happens. But don't skip 2. 1 missed day is a break. 2 is a pattern. This rule keeps you out of the all or nothing trap. Because perfection isn't the goal, consistency is. Most people think success is about motivation, talent, or luck. But it's not. It's about systems that make progress inevitable. 1 tiny win leads to another, and another. That's how real change happens. You don't need to go 100 pace a bear. You just need to stop stopping. In the next part, I'm going to show you real stories of real people who used these exact strategies to turn their lives around without a single drop of motivation. Stick with me. Their stories might just feel a little familiar. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a single mom in Texas. Works 2 jobs. Used to come home so exhausted, she barely had the energy to cook, let alone chase her dreams. For years, she told herself, I'll start when life calms down. But life never calmed down. One day, she heard a quote that changed everything. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So, she stopped trying to get motivated. And instead, she did one thing every day that moved her forward. Sometimes it was 10 minutes of reading. Sometimes it was sending 1 email. Sometimes it was just getting to bed on time. But she did it. Every day. And 2 years later, she launched her own small business. She built a new life, 10 minutes at a time. Or take Marcus, from Chicago. He was in a dark place, drinking too much, skipping the gym, hating his 9 to 5. Motivation? Gone. Confidence? Even worse. But you know what got him out? A whiteboard. He wrote one sentence on it. Today I show up. Every morning he checked one box. Workout. Clean one drawer. Make a healthy meal. Meditate for 5 minutes. That one box kept him going. And slowly, the old version of him started to fade. These aren't superhumans. They're not influencers or gurus. They're just people who stopped waiting for a feeling and started showing up anyway. And maybe that's where you're at right now. Tired of starting over. Tired of waiting for motivation to finally kick in. Tired of breaking promises to yourself. You don't need a new routine. You don't need a new planner. You don't even need motivation. You need momentum. And momentum starts with just one action. So in this final part, let's talk about your next move. Not next week. Not tomorrow. Right now. All right. Let's get real. You've tried the motivational videos, the goal lists, the new me plans. You've probably restarted more times than you can count. And you know what? That's okay. Because right now, this moment, is where everything changes. Not because you feel ready, not because you watch this video, but because you finally stop waiting and start moving. So here's your first step. Not a big one, just a small, undeniable action. Something you can do right now, before this video even ends. Clean one corner of your room. Go fill a bottle of water. Put your gym shoes by the door. Write one sentence of your journal. Delete one app that's stealing your focus. Don't overthink it. Don't make it fancy. Just start. You don't need to be motivated. You need to remember who the hell you are. Someone who shows up. Someone who follows through. Someone who keeps promises to themselves. Because every time you do, you're building something stronger than hype. You're building identity. You're building trust. You're building momentum. And trust me, once you feel that momentum, you won't need motivation again. If this hit home, drop a comment. I'm done waiting. I'm starting today. Let me know what your first small win is going to be. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just done with the lie. Let's build something real.